guys a few more exercises to work on pronation and supination. Both are super important, both are necessary, both are absolutely crucial in the gait cycle. So just to review, I'll show you what supination and pronation are and how it relates to the entire limb. And we're going to get into more exercises that carry it all the way up to the hip to try to restore the full movement from foot to hip. All right, so if you remember, this is pronation when my feet roll inwards. So basically my foot is totally unlocked. And now I'm rolling outwards, and that is supination. And you can see that my whole leg is moving just from me pronating and supinating my foot. Right? So we need pronation because that's when the foot is unlocked and we're going to step. Right? And the foot unlocks here to accept the ground and adapt to the ground. Right? And you can see my back foot is in supination. So when we're about to come off the foot, that's when everything locks up and that spring-loaded system is in gear and it is ready. So both absolutely need to happen. We're going to do banded pronation supination. So we're going to put a band above our knees and we're going to put a band around our ankles. Sometimes I change it up. It kind of depends on the person of where I'm going to put it on the feet, but for now, I'm going to do a figure 8 around my ankles. And really a lot of this is just for feedback, to give the body a little bit of feedback of where is it supposed to be going. So if I just let everything kind of relax and I let the bands pull me in, they're pulling me into pronation, right? And you can see my knees collapse, and that's okay. But we want to be strong. We want to be able to get them out of that position. Same thing with the feet. Here's our pronation and then our supination. And here's the big thing that I see with a lot of people is then they just let this happen, right? So instead of just falling back into pronation, this is how we get stronger in pronation. Instead of wearing orthotics and rigid shoes, we control it. We find control again. And so I am letting that go back into pronation, but I'm doing it in a really careful, controlled way. I'm keeping my toes totally flat on the ground, and I'm letting my hips internally rotate. I'm adducting a little bit. My knees are adducted. I'm in a collapse, a valgus collapse there. And then I'm rotating out. You can do this on just one side. Keep that down. And I'm just going to do my right side right now. And the harder the band, more resistance that you have in the band, the harder it is for that arch to actually control that motion. So I can feel my arch shaking a little bit as I try to go back into pronation, because I'm not just letting it do this, right? We're controlling it on the way out and controlling on the way in. Here's another view so you can actually see what's happening with my arch. I'm supinating. My arch is getting really high, really rigid, locked and ready to go. And then I'm unlocking everything, letting it all collapse. You can see my arch collapsed, right? So that whole like, oh, I have a collapsed arch. Yeah, you do when you're in pronation. As long as you're in supination, well, it shouldn't be collapsed if it's strong enough. So that's one. Once you master that, then you can start moving on. You can do things like a single leg balance, right? Or if that's hard, then just do kind of what I was already doing, a little toe touch here. Supinate, pronate. Supinate, pronate. Take that foot off the ground. There, it's going to get a little harder. It's going to get a lot harder to control in and out. Nice. I like this airplane. I'm going to have to do it this way. I like this airplane because you get both things. So you can see I'm rigid, right? And you can do this for all different reasons. Sometimes you can do a little rotation to work on your lateral column, trying to ground everything. There's that addition. have something to hold on to so you don't go crashing into the doors like me. But you can see my arch is really engaging there, right? And then as I come back down, try to keep my leg out of the way. And now I'm just letting it relax into pronation. And now I got to pull it back as I go into supination. And then the last one is a curtsy lunge, which a lot of people know, but they don't use it for pronation supination. So here's the foot I'm working on. Go this way again. Foot I'm working on. This leg is reaching behind me as I squat down. You need really good balance for this, right? Or you can just hold on to something to begin with and then come back up. So from here you can see, and I'm going to let my whole knee drop in. I'm not going to be afraid to let it cross the midline unless you have knee problems. If that hurts, then don't cross the midline. Just stay wherever you can control. And that goes for everybody, that we're going to stay within our limitations or wherever our control lands, right? So here's my foot totally pronated. And then I'm coming up. Supination. My hip is rotating in, my knee is collapsing in, my foot is collapsing in, and then I'm coming back up. I'm externally rotating, my knee is now aligned straight, a little bit externally rotated, and I'm losing my breath, and my arch is on fire. So is my calf. So hopefully that gives you an idea of places to go, that it doesn't end with like toe yoga and arch doming. Those are great places to start. In fact, we have to start there just to teach the foot what it needs to do again. But once that's easy and you can just get those arches on all day long, then you need to start progressing it. And those are a couple progressions. If you have any questions, I'm always here to answer them. And I am doing one-on-one consultations now. I'll do a free 20-minute consult, and then hour-long assessments if you're interested in that. And that goes for anybody, whether you have an injury or you don't have an injury. If you just want to work on foot stuff, or you want to work on hip stuff, you want to work on shoulder stuff, I'm here for it. So get at me and have fun with those exercises. If you have any questions, I'm always here to answer them. And I am doing one-on-one consultations now. I'll do a free 20-minute consult, and then hour-long assessments if you're interested in that. And that goes for anybody, whether you have an injury or you don't have an injury. If you just want to work on foot stuff, or you want to work on hip stuff, you want to work on shoulder stuff, I'm here for it. So get at me and have fun with those exercises.